G'day Internet, Max right here, and we're going to be chatting, well, we won't be chatting to, but we'll be looking at a clip from Michael Saylor here in just a moment, talking about the inevitability of Bitcoin, a really powerful perspective, which I really wanted to discuss. And then later on in the episode, we talked a lot yesterday about the trading bot that I was using. I'll give you guys some action steps to take on that if you want to find out more there. So let's start with Michael Saylor. I think some really important wisdom here. Let's get into it.
You know, what does Mark Twain says? Two most important days of your life are the day you're born, the day you figure out why. And so I think it's been very revitalizing for me. It's been revitalizing for MicroStrategy. It brought me in touch with a lot of brilliant, passionate, progressive, idealistic people. You know, I like being plugged into the mission, and I like being plugged into the community. The community is just very motivated and passionate, and just like that MIT story where I said just a lot of very intelligent, bright, young people doing cool things. When I got to MIT, I see a lot of people in the Bitcoin community very passionate, doing very cool things. You know, when I describe Bitcoin, I say it's an economic imperative, it's a technology imperative, and it's a moral imperative. The economic imperative is $400 trillion worth of currency and currency derivatives that are being devalued by the currency devaluation. So everybody in the world has this problem, right? So it's motivational to have a solution to the problem faced by every investor on the planet. If you own bonds, it's $100 trillion worth of bonds with a negative real yield. If you own commercial real estate, your commercial real estate's got rents capped at CPI, which means you have a negative real yield on real estate. If you own value stocks, the value stocks are valued based upon the discounted value of the cash flows. If you have a utility company growing cash flows at 2% a year, and if the currency is devaluing at 15% a year, you've got a negative real yield on your cash flows. So everybody in the world sitting with cash or currency derivatives has a problem. We've got a solution. That's pretty motivational. I think from big tech, if you look at the tech imperative, this is what Bitcoin is to me. Bitcoin is digital property, which means that if you wanted to give joy to 5 billion people, you would give them digital music on a mobile device, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Pandora. That's how you give music to 5 billion people. You can't give them an orchestra or a Steinway grand piano or a phonograph or a record or a CD. You just can't do it that way. The 20th century music solution is too expensive and cumbersome to give music in the 21st century to everybody. If you wanted to give education and erudition to 5 billion people, you can't do it with MIT and Harvard and libraries and books and teachers and professors. You need to do it with digital books and digital education. You need YouTube and iBooks, and that's why Google and that's why Apple are exploding in value. If you want to give wealth to 5 billion people, Brian, you can't do it with gold. You can't do it with land. You can't do it with buildings, and you can't do it with 20th century stocks. You can't do it with collectibles and art. You can't do it with diamonds. Those are 20th century property. They work for the elite. You can give 10% of the people wealth that way. You can give 10 or 20% of the people wealth with banks and stock exchanges. If you want to give 5 billion people wealth, you need to give them digital property. You need to give them digital gold on an open monetary protocol running on a $50 Android phone. And that's what Bitcoin is. Once you understand what we've got here, you put Bitcoin together with an Android phone with an application. It could be a layer 2 decentralized application like Lightning, or it could be Square Cash App, or it could be PayPal, or it could be Apple Pay or Google Pay. But when you put together mobile devices with software and you plug it into digital property, you have the means to give everybody on Earth property rights, and you can move it at the speed of light, and you can make it as smart as your iPhone or your Android phone can be smart. And there's no one on the planet that hasn't figured out digital photos, digital video, digital books on a smart device is a better idea, and it's the way to create a utilitarian entitlement. And so when I say it's a tech imperative, I mean, A, it's a pretty good idea for Google, Apple, Amazon, Facebook. And if they don't do it, then Jack Dorsey at Square or at PayPal is going to eat their lunch and do it for them. You can't stop that. The genie's out of the bottle. But I also say it's a tech imperative because they have to do it, right? It's like they have to do it because iCloud with your photos and your videos is interesting, but iCloud with $100 trillion of your money is compelling.
So many good points there to understand. Let's talk about a few of them. So I'm reminded by a statement. It was software is eating the world. And that's a very, very important thing to understand as an investor. So you're looking to figure out where to invest your money, where to get your best bang for your buck. Something very, very important is just think of something that is a really big deal that changes people's lives in a profound way in the 20th century, and then understand that if it hasn't been done already, in the 21st century, it is going to be digitized. So he went through the examples of if you want to give songs to people, you can't send CDs to people. You've got to digitize it, then the world can get it, right? And that is what Bitcoin is. It's doing it with money. It's software. It's eating the largest industry on the planet. By orders of magnitude, the financial sector providing money is the biggest sector in the world. And it has not yet been digitized. Well, it has with Bitcoin and others. And so the world will flock to it. And a concept to appreciate is the speed. The speed with which the world is flocking to it is mind-blowing. Like, for example, El Salvador, I think it's less than 6 months ago, I think it's like 4 months ago actually, made Bitcoin legal tender. I think it's a country of 7 million people. Only 2.5 million of them or so, 2 million of them I think, had bank accounts. They're up to between 3.5 to 4 million people now have Bitcoin accounts. All right? The speed with which this is happening, that's in 4 months. What banks couldn't do in the last 50 years in El Salvador, Bitcoin did in 4 months. It is an unbelievably mind-blowing thing to wrap your head around. Our minds can't think in terms of that massive explosion and that exponential growth curve. I love, Raul Powell said something the other day, I loved it. It was as if you take 20 linear steps, you'll walk across a room. If you take 20 exponential steps, you go around the planet 2 times. Our minds can't grasp that to the degree, it doesn't come in, our minds can grasp it, it doesn't come intrinsically. You got to really stop and think about it to understand the transformation that's happening and the speed with which it is happening. Remember, probably within about 24 to 36 months, there's going to be 1 billion crypto users. By 27, 28, about 3 billion crypto users. Do you understand how close that is, how soon that is? That is just a handful of years away, and you're talking about half the planet getting into crypto. It's extraordinary. It is extraordinary to think about it. You got to slow down, think about it, and go, okay, what does that mean? And you're just talking about trillions of dollars pouring into this space, trying to buy up tokens where there is a very, very, very limited supply. Let's go to the inevitability of it. So how might this play out? How's it going to play out? And he kind of alluded to it there, but it kind of lends itself to game theory. But Michael said, if Apple doesn't do it, then Square and PayPal and Twitter is going to eat their lunch. But right now, there's game theory playing out among countries. There is game theory playing out among corporations. And so if you are a corporation out there, be it Apple, be it Amazon, be it Facebook, or now Meta, given any of those things, every day you hesitate is a day you lose market share of the new paradigm, because the new paradigm is coming with certainty and it will be built on cryptocurrency for sure. And so they're just moving out. So like we've had the first movers. We've had the Twitters, we've had the PayPals, big, big, big organizations. It is just a matter of time before the Apples and the Amazons and everybody else. And actually, we don't even need to guess. We can see from their hiring. So all of those companies I just mentioned, they've been hiring cryptocurrency experts to head up their cryptocurrency division. Now, on the retail face, we don't know what their cryptocurrency division is. What are they working towards? They haven't released that information yet. But they've been hiring cryptocurrency engineers, project managers, etc., for the last 12 months. So we know, I don't know if it's going to be 1 month, 6 months, 12 months, but some monster announcements are coming from these big organizations. The same with countries. El Salvador was the first, but there's just so many more countries that are talking about it. And it doesn't even need the countries to talk about it. Like I read today that the Turkish lira is on track to hit 50% inflation for the year. All right, do you understand what that means? What that means is every single citizen in that country has had their wealth chopped in half in the last 12 months. Okay, so like in 2013, Cyprus Bank had the bail-in, and everybody had 50% of their bank accounts chopped in half. Okay, you go to Turkey, they did it a slightly different way. Through the mechanism of inflation, every single citizen had their bank account chopped in half. And this is coming to every single country in the world as the currencies of the world collapse because they've been devalued. They're overprinting. It's as long as money's been around, fiat money has been debased and devalued into oblivion, and it's happening. And your time is running out. Every day you hesitate, you lose. So get involved in the cryptocurrency world. If you like what Michael had to say there, go ahead, smash that like button. Tell me, do you think crypto is absolutely inevitable as taking over the world in the next 10 to 20 years? All right, next, I want to talk about the crypto trading bot that I spoke about yesterday. My buddy Dan Hollings is doing a big webinar where he is going to just go through his entire system and teach you exactly what the trading bots are. I had a whole bunch of questions on the video yesterday. I didn't go through and answer them all individually because tomorrow there is a way for you to get find out exactly how it all works from the expert himself, Dan. So the very first link in this video is a link to sign up for that webinar. Highly recommend you do that. Go ahead and do that now. Very, very highly recommended. It will become and is becoming an absolutely essential component to my crypto trading strategy. So highly recommend you do that. What else? And I will say something else. Yes. So oh, is there? No, I think I'll save that for tomorrow's video. Yeah, this video has been long enough. So yeah, go ahead, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys soon. Take care.